Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Night 5. I'm your host, Jeff, and today I wanted to keep another wrestling-related topic. WrestleMania came and gone. We talked about it on the last episode. My five favorite WrestleManias. And WrestleMania weekend's a big weekend for the wrestling world, both independent wrestling and just WWE itself. There's this whole wrestling convention called WrestleCon. A lot of meet and greets happening. And that got me thinking, you know what? I think, besides meet and greets, it's, your chance to meet various wrestlers as well. Whether it be photo ops or autographs, whatever. So that's why today's topic, as you saw from the title, my 5 favorite experiences meeting wrestlers. Now, I worded it like that because not every single scenario is like a meet and greet scenario, per se, on this list. And also, it's not like my favorite wrestler. It's not necessarily favorite wrestler. Okay, full disclosure, huge HBK fan, Shawn Michaels, right? I've met Shawn Michaels. However, spoiler alert, he is not going to be on this list, even though, it was great that I got to meet him and stuff, but the experience, as far as the experience went, felt a little rushed. Granted, he took a picture when he didn't have to, so that was nice of him. Because the Butch a million people, it was at a Butch signing, by the way. Butch a million people like, he's not going to take pictures and all that. Well, the people before us were taking pictures. And, so I'm like, you know what? If he takes a picture, he takes a picture. If not, totally fine. Went up, met him, said a few words, very few words. And got to shake his hand, and he did look at the camera for a picture. So that was nice of him. But the experience was surreal, but at the same time, it was a little bit rushed, and it was like, it could have been better. Could have been better. So that is why he's not a part of this list. So don't think it's my favorite. The people who are on this list, however, I've had some memorable experiences with. For the most part, there is 3 out of 5 of them. Well, 4 out of 5 of them are meet and greet experiences. However, 1 out of the 4 is a little added more, as you will see, and then the other experience isn't even a meet and greet at all, and it just happened. It's just a case of happenstance that it happened, and luck and fate, or whatever you want to call it, which I'll get to a little later on. So without further ado, here are 5 favorite experiences meeting wrestlers. Number 5, even though it's not, the numbers really don't matter in this case, but number 5, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. I if you will. I can't, my brother does the better, Dusty. I apologize. Dusty Rhodes. So the year is 2004. Yeah, 2004, TNA has their first TNA Fan Fest interaction experience. Like, it's a meet and greet setting. You know, meet them, get autographs, get pictures. You know, take pictures with them if you like. Take the Polaroids, which I'll get to in a minute. And yeah, so we went, and me and my brother went, and it was like the victory. It was during the first ever 3-hour pay-per-view, Sunday pay-per-view. It was Victory Road in 2004. In like the fall of 2004, I believe. So we're meeting and greeting. So many wrestlers that day. So many wrestlers. From Larry Zbyszko to Raven to AJ Styles, Michael Shane, which is Shawn Michaels' cousin. So many people. Christopher Daniels, and there's actually, it's a couple sessions. It's like one session has a bunch of guys, and then the second session had a bunch of guys. We went to both sessions. Nevertheless, the first session had it was either the first or second, I really can't remember. Dusty Rhodes at the very end, and got to meet him, and couldn't have been a nicer guy. Got to take a picture with him. He signed the picture. I'll put it up here so you can see the full, better picture of it. And also got this nice 8x10 signed. We'll say what made the experience fun and memorable is that my brother, Dad wanted us to tell him that Dusty Rhodes is one of his favorite wrestlers. Well, when we get up there, the very first thing my brother says was, my dad is your favorite wrestler. Instead of, I'm like, wait, no, that's not right. He goes, you're my dad's favorite wrestler. Now, don't worry. Spoiler alert. Number 4, as far as dumb things to say to wrestlers, I think I topped that at number 4. If you know, you know. If you don't, stay tuned. But yeah, and he had a chuckle at that. But yeah, no, couldn't have been a nicer guy. Damn it, I miss him. Great guy. Passed away when did he pass away? 2015? Maybe? Something like that. 2015 and 2013. Between 2013 and 20. I'll have to, that's a post. Put it in post. I'm almost positive it was 2015, though, that he passed away. But again, couldn't have been a nice guy, and that's why I put him at the number 5 spot on this list. Let's go to number 4, which some of you might already know, but it's, like I said, the ones you don't, about to find out now. Number 4, so the year is 1997. WrestleMania 13 weekend in Chicago. People have different autograph signings in different locations around the suburban Chicagoland area. Turns out Owen Hart and the British Bulldog were having a Toys R Us signing at a local Toys R Us. So my family, I remember it being a Saturday, the day before WrestleMania, And I remember it also being the day where I believe it was either Nick or myself. I'm pretty sure it was Nick. He had a basketball game at the YMCA because we were part of the YMCA basketball lead a couple years running, and he had a game to get to. So we were afraid we were going to be late for it. We just made it, but the thing of it is we were worried that we were going to be late because Owen and Bulldog were running a little late when we got there. Now, we were told they could sign two different things. There's an 8x10 that was given to us, as you can see pictured here. I'd show it to you, but it's since been sold, guys. What can I say? Money talks. That is a big regret, though, I will say. But the person I did sell to, I know, is, you know, taking good care of it, and it's you know, I was just keeping it in storage. I wasn't displaying it, and I would have had I had, you know. Nevertheless, it's in good hands, is what I'm saying. The person who I sold it to. So what you would call? What was I? Okay. So anyway, we had a WCW magazine with us because Bulldog was at one point in WCW. We didn't have anything else for Owen to sign, but we had that. We get up there, and I think Nick was the one with the magazine, and he gave it to Bulldog. He couldn't sign it because it was WCW, which was, you know, it was fine. So here I'm thinking, and by the way, so this almost, to be honest with you, this almost didn't make the list. But because of the interaction that you will find out in a few minutes, that's what made it. That's what makes it memorable to me, and one that I'll never let down and never forget. But it was kind of also it did kind of feel a little bit rushed, and they didn't allow for like post pictures or nothing like that. But I will say, you know, I should have been a little bit more talkative, but in the end, they signed the 8x10. Beautiful signature, beautiful 8x10. Damn it, I missed it. Okay, but that day, I just so happened to be wearing this. So they signed the Flags of the World shirt that I was wearing by their respective flags, right? Okay. So here we go. Here's the thing. Made this whole thing memorable. I look at Owen straight in the face, right? I'm dead set on getting this shirt signed. I go, here, Owen, please, can you please sign your state? Stupid. Sign. He looked at me like, the fuck did I just say? And my mom, who was there also, she did actually eventually, they weren't posed pics, but she did take a couple pictures, which I will insert here, before seeing them, and then one of Bulldog signing the shirt, or signing either the shirt or the 8x10, one of the two. But as you can see there in that second pitch was, you know, I did have the shirt on and did. Anyway, so she goes, I think you mean country, Jeff. And I go, yes, I do. And that made Owen chuckle a little bit. And, you know, that's that's what made this whole thing special. Is my stupidity on saying, can you please sign your state when Canada is in fact not a state? It does not have states, it has provinces, and it's a country. So, where did I go, Jeff? As I told you, it'll top what my brother said to Dusty. Holy shit. But that, because of that experience, that's why this makes number 4 on the list. It was just too, I don't know, it was wild. Wild. But 10 years later, 97 to 2007, 10 years later, something even more wild happened at number 3. So remember how I started to say that a majority of these are, in fact, meet and greet experiences? This is the only exception. At number 3, picture it, right? Picture it. We are on the Disney, a Disney cruise line in November of 2007. Do not remember what ship. It was either the Magic or the Wonder. I might have to find that out in post as well. But for those of you who haven't been on the Disney cruise, let me run down what. So we get on board, right? We get on board, and then we go straight to lunch, to have lunch. And it's usually on the restaurant located on the same deck as you walked in. So it was and since it was like Parrot Cay, is what it was called. So we're sitting down for lunch. We're having lunch. There's me, my family. Nick did not go on this cruise. It was mainly a pin cruise, if you will, a pin trading cruise. Pin trading was big. It's still kind of big today, but not as big as it was back in the day. But nevertheless, so that was what we went on that was what we mainly went on this cruise for, was to pin trade and stuff. But so we get there, and we're with our friends too, Tom and Diana as well. But we sit down and eat. You know, I wanted to go to the atrium again to grab a navigator, which is like the itinerary, if you will, of today's events or what's happening throughout the day. So I went to the atrium, guest services, grabbed a navigator, was about to head back to the restaurant. One thing I forgot to mention, when you first board the ship, there's a lady there there's someone there with a microphone, and they usually announce the family's last name of those who board the ship, and then the cast members clap, and it's a whole ordeal. You know, now introducing the Minalia family, you know. The minute I grab the navigator and I'm about to head up back to the restaurant, I hear, Disney Cruise Line, please welcome the Foley family. In my head, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be funny if it was actually, and then before I even finished my thought in my head, I looked, and who with his family was walking past me but Mick Foley. Mick freaking Foley. Okay. I'm cool. Speed walk back to the restaurant. Excited. I am excited though. I'm like, that's really cool. But at the same time, the man is with his family. He's on vacation. He probably doesn't want to be bombarded by fans, which is totally understandable. So we sit back down and let me see. I'm like, Mom, Dad, you'll never believe who just boarded the ship. And I told him. And the damnedest thing is, you know, they go to the same restaurant we do, They literally get seated 2 or 3 tables down from us. This is what? Wild. And the restaurant's fairly empty at this point. It's a little later in the day. It is quite, it's not as full as you would think. It was either early or later in the day. I can't remember which. But nonetheless, okay, so we're about to leave. But my parents wanted me to go up to him and ask for a picture. I said, look, the man just got on the ship. He's with his family. I tried to be the voice of reason, but they kept saying, no, you never did, you might not need another chance at this. You might not need another chance, which is also true. It is a big ship. Who knows? So in the end, they won the debate, if you will, or argument or whatever. And I went up to him in front of his family. I did feel ashamed of myself, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I was respectful. I said, excuse me, Mick, I'm a big fan of yours. No, well, obviously, first I said, sorry to bother you, but I'm a big fan of yours. I was wondering if it's okay with you if we can take a quick picture. He said what I've been trying to tell my parents. He just got on the ship, and he kind of didn't want to make a big. He didn't want to really get noticed. Totally understandable. He did say, however, that maybe not right now, but if I see you later on in the cruise, maybe we'll work something out then, which was totally fine. Totally fine. I was totally fine with that answer. I'm like, all right, Mitch, totally understand. Have a great, have a nice vacation, a nice time, nice lunch. Turning back to my parents, I'm like, see, I told you so. By fate, we happen to have the same dinner rotation because there's an early seating and a late seating. We happen to have the early seating, and so did they, at the same restaurant each. So what? Yeah. I don't know if it was the first night. I don't think it was. Maybe it was the next night. I want to say it was the second night. We're at the table. We had a table by the doors, by the entrance, so we get to see who comes in and out and shit. Who walks in? By the way, this is semi-formal night, mind you. Who walks in? But Mick Foley and his wife and the kids. The table in the restaurant we're at, which was like Royal Court. And keep in mind, again, semi-formal night. Keep that in mind. Once you see this picture, you'll understand why I keep on saying that. Of what one Mick Foley was wearing. Not that I'm judging, but it's like the guy doesn't want to get noticed, yet he wears what he wore. Anyways, we're sitting down. His table is off in the distance. Like I see where they seated him and the family. So I'm just looking. I'm not gonna go over there at all. I'm just, throughout the dinner, I glance over there a couple times just to see, just because I can't, it's Mick freaking Foley on the Disney ship, the same Disney ship, the same dinner rotation. What are the odds? And so, all of a sudden, I'm making eye contact with him. Like I look at him, and then I see him looking around, and then he spots me from a distance. Soon as I'm pretty sure he also like do one of these. He waved at me to try to get my attention. But once I saw him look at me, I kind of did the, oh God, he looked at me. Make eye, just try to not make eye contact with them. I'm like, I decided I want to seem like I was staring at him, which I wasn't. I wasn't. I was just glancing. All of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, I see him get up. He gets up. He walks to our table. Now he walks to our table. He said something along the lines of, I know I told you I would, if I saw you later on the ship, I would, grab a picture with you. What I failed to realize at that point was there's a lot of people on the ship, so might have been a slim chance of seeing each other again. He asked if I still wanted that picture, and he was gracious enough to take a picture. And here it is. To this day, it's one of the coolest things ever. Definitely top 3. That's why it's deservedly in the top 3 of this segment, because it was totally awesome. And this is why, by the way, go back to the picture. This is why, what I'm saying, semi-formal night, the man is wearing a bright ass orange Hawaiian shirt and slacks, like sweatpants, I think. Not to judge or anything, but Mitch, I love you. More power to you. Whatever you want to wear. It's your vacation. Go nuts. Anyway, so that was pretty freaking cool. And the only time something like that's ever happened on a cruise or anywhere where I actually meet a wrestler on a Disney cruise of all cruises. So that's pretty damn cool. Number 2. Number 2 features 2 guys. Now, for those of you who follow the channel, watch my vlog, Jeff's Life, available on this very channel. Big fan of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. The Major Wrestling Figure Podcast is hosted by Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins. And what they've put together, what they've created with the podcast and the podcast community, with their Patreon and the Facebook group community, and like, there's so many friends met as an adult because of this podcast. So many great, wonderful people in this community that I consider friends. And so, yeah, they do live shows. Okay? So, finally, in 2020, well, I don't know why I said it like that, let me think about this, because it's 2023. 2023. They hit Orlando in January for the first time. And me and my brother, we went. Number 2 is basically Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, by the way, just in case you didn't realize that by now. And here's why. So they do these live shows, and VIP tickets, and then general admission tickets. VIP tickets, post-show, you get a meet and greet with Matt and Brian and Mark. Mark Sterling is the producer. He's also a manager in AEW. Smart Mark Sterling. But he's also part of the Major Wrestling Video Podcast team. But anyway, yeah. So you get to meet them, but also at the live show, the benefit of the cool thing about these live shows is post show, you're chilling with them, you're hanging out with them, and as well as the other, we're as the community, we're called Major March, so we hang out with other Major March, we're chatting it up with either Matt or Brian, or just having a great time. Post show hangout, and they've even had, which I'm hoping they do one in Orlando, like they keep saying they will, but they just had regular hangouts, no live show involved, just regular hangouts with us too in the community. And it's just so freaking cool of them to do. Like what they've done, legit, I can't thank them enough for all they've done for me. Like, I'm serious. I've never felt happier, and it's an escape, and it's both these guys, hell of a great guys, So yeah, it's if you never have gone to a Major Wrestling Video Podcast live show, definitely need to consider going, because it's very fun. And as seen here, we met them. So they didn't do the live this year. They stepped out, and I'm pretty sure it's because of last year. There was kind of hold on, 2024. Shit, 2022. I think that it was 2022. I just realized 2022, because 2022 was a live 11. 2023 was live 15. 2024 was last year, and that was live 18. And that was the one that wasn't well attended. So then this year came around, they skipped Orlando, and they went straight to WrestleMania for Vegas for Live 21. But, like I said, they're considering doing maybe a major hangout in the summer. Fingers crossed. Why can't I cross this finger? What are we doing? Fingers crossed. And so, yeah, that's a possibility there. So we'll see what happens. But my number one favorite experience meeting a wrestler is the year was 1996, 1 year prior to meeting Brett Bulldog and Owen. It was our very first meet and greet. Not only did he have a comic book signing, but he signed a vast majority of other things we had for him as well. I think each of our family members had stuff for him to sign, and he gladly signed it. But I'm talking about the Ultimate Warrior. Guys, gals, I know throughout the years you hear stories about the Warrior. At this meet and greet, the day before, I believe, the 1996 Turn of the Ring, or the weekend of, could not have been a nicer guy. Very cool. I got a picture with him. My brother got a picture with him. My mom took other pictures of him signing other stuff, but those are in storage, and I can't show those to you. But it was, he was doing a Warrior comic book signing. Remember that? Yeah, Warrior comic book. Yeah. Incredible guy. Could not have been nicer. Took his time with us, talked to us a little bit. We even met his then fiance, Dana. That's actually, if you go back to the picture, that's her in the background there. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. It should not have been, you always remember your first, and meeting the Warrior will always be an experience I'll never forget. And it's a shame we lost him in 2014. Damn it. It really is. Yeah, it really sucks. So, well, I mean, that's all I can really say about that one. For it being my first, it's the shortest description of what went down. I mean, it was just a standard meet and greet, but like I said, he took his time. He took pictures with us, multiple pictures with us. Didn't mind, So that was pretty cool of him. And he was my first favorite wrestler growing up, him and Hogan. But yeah. So that's it, guys. That about does it. We are at, oh my God, this is probably going to be the second longest episode of this show. But you know what? That's good. I like the long ones. I mean, I like them and I don't, because the long ones take a little more time to edit, but at the same time, it's more content for you to watch. Compromise. So, editing, watching, yeah. So until next time, thank you for watching Saturday Night 5. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we shall see you in 2 weeks for episode 10. Oh, wait. Spoiler alert. Episode 10 happens to fall on May 10th, which is pretty cool. The significance of May 10th, however, is this. The topic, I'll even tell you the topic, is 5 current favorite cover songs that I'm currently listening to, or something along those lines. Not like of all time, but like just recent cover songs I've listened to and I'm into and I've heard recently, will be the topic. Why is that the topic, you asked? Here's why. If you, for any reason, by chance, by some miracle, are watching this show and you happen to live in the Omaha, Nebraska area, May the 10th at the Waiting Room Lounge, check out kick-ass cover band called Secret Weapon. My buddy does bass for this band, but he hasn't been, with them all the years that they've been together, but he's just recently joined in the years prior. And guys, they are celebrating 20 years of being together, if you will, putting out content, putting out music. 20 years. That's quite an accomplishment. 2005, they started. That's crazy. For a cover band, to go 20 years. So, if by chance you're in that area, check it out. Check them out on Facebook and hear songs like this.
I'm just thinking of the right words to say. I know they don't sound the way I planned them to be. But if you wait around a while, I'll make you fall for me. I promise you I will. When your day is through, and so is your temper, you know what to do. If I had a chance, I'd ask the world to dance, to leave me dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. Well, there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to prove. I'll be dancing with myself.
That last one, I mean, they're all good, they're all bangers, but that last one was my favorite of the three I've heard so far. Ah, so good, so good. Guys, information is on the stream. Check them out. Waiting Room Lounge. Linked to their Facebook page, and by the way, will be in the description below. And I say this now, I plug this now because the day of the next episode is going to be the day of the show. So no point in plugging into the day of the show, you know, when I can just plug it now, you know, because it would already have happened or would be going on when I'm talking about it. So that's why I brought it up. If by chance anyone's listening, watching this rather, from the Omaha area, besides said bassist of said cover band, hi Billy, I'm trying. Please don't check them out. Okay, now, thank you for watching Saturday Night 5. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we shall see you in 2 weeks for another edition of Saturday Night 5. Good night.